Ahsoka introduced Ray Stevenson's Baylan Skoll, a mysterious dark Jedi with an unknown agenda. But does Star Wars Legends provide a clue? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Skoll's mysterious mission may tie into the unifying force philosophy from Star Wars Legends, which rejects the dark and light sides of the Force. Skoll, an Order 66 survivor, acts villainously for a higher purpose, standing among statues of powerful Force wielders on Peridea. Skoll's potential adherence to the unifying force philosophy could lead to preoccupation with destiny and underestimating the dangers of the dark side. The secret mission of mysterious dark Jedi Baylan Skoll, one of the main antagonists in Ahsoka Season 1, could tie into a surprising concept from Star Wars Legends. Played by the late Ray Stevenson, the Dark Jedi Baylan Skoll is an Order 66 survivor who played a key role in helping Morgan Elsbeth bring back Grand Admiral Thrawn. Skoll may be a villain, but his heinous actions are seemingly no more than a means to an end. He remained on the extragalactic world of Peridea, seemingly in search of a higher form of power related to the ancient Force gods of Mortis. Baylan Skoll's goals and behavior seem to tie into one specific Force philosophy from Star Wars Legends. The Force, as a fundamental concept in the Star Wars franchise, is the subject of intense debate. While the cosmic energy field permeates the galaxy and provides beings like Jedi and Sith with their powers, the difference between the Force, its dark side, whether or not there is a light side, and what balance in the Force means, are all explored across the franchise's first official continuity, Legends, and the Disney canon. Legends may offer a clue to Baylan's mission. Baylan Skoll is presented as a somewhat morally gray character in Ahsoka. Skoll mercilessly slaughters New Republic Navy personnel, provides invaluable assistance in bringing Grand Admiral Thrawn home, and nearly kills Ahsoka herself. Despite this, Skoll is depicted as reluctant to resort to violence, and in some moments seemingly aware of and remorseful for his actions, perhaps seeing them as necessary for the greater good. Skoll is far from a heroic character, but he is not on the same level of villainy as the genuine Sith Lords of the Empire or even his Night Sister allies. This corresponds with a Legends philosophy known as the unifying force. The Force, in its simplest terms, is a fundamental energy that permeates the galaxy. When beings defy the natural state of the Force and use it maliciously, they corrupt the Force, tapping into its dark side instead of its natural state. This has led viewers and even some characters in certain Star Wars properties outside of the original and prequel trilogies to assume there is a light side. The unifying force philosophy eschews the notions of the dark side and the light side. Baylan Skoll may follow the unifying force philosophy. He retains a degree of honor from his time as a Jedi, yet uses his force abilities as a means to an end. Baylan's goal is unknown, but his final appearance has him standing among statues of the Force wielders of Mortis. The Force wielders themselves are near omnipotent beings who represent different aspects of the Force. The son represents the dark side, the daughter could represent the light side or living force, and the father embodies the balance or cosmic force. Baylan could believe he is somehow trying to unify the Force again. Another key aspect of the unifying force philosophy is its predilection for precognition. While the more common view of the Force, the so-called living force, views the Force as something akin to a living being whose will is to be listened to and followed, the unifying force treats it as a means of determining the future and fulfilling one's destiny. Of course, there are Jedi prophecies, but such precogs tend to have a more balanced view of the matter. Yoda, for instance, warned Luke his visions are only potential futures during the latter's training. Baylan Skoll's seeming rejection of the more conventional notions of the Force through his implied new beginning on Peridea seems motivated by a sense of destiny. Skoll struggles to maintain a degree of honor and mercy left over from his Jedi past, but he ultimately pursues his goal by any possible means. Of course, Skoll's preoccupation with his supposed destiny could also be his undoing. If Baylan Skoll loses sight of the present, he may leave himself vulnerable to his opponents, such as Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren, who are now stranded on Paradia with him. This is not the only potential weakness of the unifying Force philosophy, however. The viewpoint fails to note the distinction between the Force and its dark side.